Hey, welcome to the studio here. This is Petri. Thanks so much for stopping by. We're actually just about to start a new painting. So we're going to have a lot of fun today. We're going to start a new painting. And also, as a bonus, we have 300 videos that we have on this YouTube channel. You can go back and check all those out too. There's just great information, whether you're a new artist, if you're a little bit advanced, or if you've been doing watercolor a long time. There's a lot of great information there. So I hope you take advantage of it. We're all learning. I'm always learning. And if you are new here, please subscribe. Hit that subscribe button down below. This way you get alerted each week when our new video comes out. You'll be alerted that it's just been uploaded to YouTube and you can watch. And we'll have a fun time, all of us together, going forward and learning about watercolor. Let's all learn together and make better paintings and have a fun time. Okay, let's do our next video. Hey everyone, Petri here. Welcome everyone. This is an extreme beginners video. We're actually going to create a beautiful occasional card here. So strap in, get settled in, grab your papers, your brushes, your paints, your water. Get excited. We're going to create this and we're going to get some tape too. Always remember, grab your tape. We need some tape on this video. We're going to show you all the different tapes you're going to need. We're going to need some painter's tape. You're going to see everything on this video, step by step, the whole enchilada, the whole chock full of nuts of what we're doing here. We're creating occasional cards, so you can create birthday cards, holiday cards, get well cards, encouragement cards, whatever you want. You create it. You're the artist. You'll create beautiful cards, have them all set up beautifully, perfectly. Once you're done, you peel off your tape, and you're all set, and you have a gorgeous card like this, just like this. And then you open it up, and you create your own message on the inside, and we're going to have a step-by-step demonstration at the end of the video. Toward the end of the video, you're going to see how you're going to create all your lines to go across your card so you can fill in all of your message. Dear so-and-so, and all of your message, you put that in on beautiful pencil lines. Once you're done, you're going to erase your pencil lines, and then you'll have your message completed. You'll have your cover completed, and you'll even put a message on the front of your cover. No matter what you want to do, you can have your card, once you create your occasional card, you can have a happy birthday, get well soon, happy Hanukkah, happy Merry Christmas, happy Kwanzaa, any type of message you want on the front of your card. You just draw one level line. We'll show you how to do it. We have our T-square here. We're going to show you if you can get yourself a T-square eventually at some point, or even a ruler. A ruler works fine, but if you can get a T-square ruler, that's even better yet. And you're going to see how you can line up all of your lines perfectly level across your painting, across your card, across the face of your card, and on the interior of your card to create beautiful messages, have everything looking absolutely beautiful and uniform, looking like a real card that you might buy at a store. And people will love it. And your loved ones, your friends, your family, your coworkers, whoever you're giving cards to, they will love this because it's going to look fantastic. It's going to look polished, professional. Let's get started here. We're going to show you the whole enchilada, everything, the whole chock full of nuts information that you need to create these beautiful occasional cards. We're going to show you right here on this video. So strap in, get excited. We'll be right back. All right, hey, we're getting back started again. We just saw the finished artwork on our block paper. So I'm just using a watercolor block, which has I guess I could, this is a pad. It's a 7 by 10, 7-inch by 10-inch watercolor block. This happens to be Fabriano extra white paper, 300 gram, 140 pound. Watercolor paper by Fabriano. It's in its Artistico paper, and it's in a block form. So it's got that black border around all four sides of the block of paper. And what it is basically it's glued all together. So all your papers are all glued together. And once you're done painting, then you can just trim off your one sheet of paper, and you'll be ready to start your next sheet of paper underneath this one. But it keeps everything really nice and organized. But if you have whatever paper you have, just 7 by 10 works really good for cards. So we're doing our occasional cards, whether it's a birthday card, a holiday card, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, any kind of holiday get well cards, thank you cards. You make any card you want to, This is an occasional card we're going to create here. And again, like I said, it's a 7 by 10. And what we'll do is we'll take our ruler and we'll just say, okay, 10 1/4 is 5 1/8. So 5 1/8 inch is half of 10 1/4. So we make a mark there, and then we make a mark here, and we're using a T-square. And what this T-square does, it's really phenomenal. If you're using paper, it gives you a perfect right angle. So you don't have to worry about measuring too much. You just kind of slide it over to your mark here, which is halfway. So we said if this is a 7 by 10, it's actually 10 1/4. So half of 10 1/4 is 5 1/8. So I marked off 5 1/8 T-square here. Slide, keep it tight against the top of your paper or your block here. I have watercolor block. You can use regular paper. And you just do that, and you have yourself a center line. That's your center line. So that's the center of the card. Then what you do is you think to yourself, what side of the card are you going to paint on? Well, this usually is the front of the card, and this would be the back of the card, front of the card, and then the other opposite sides underneath it would be the interior of the card. So this is the top and the back. So the top, back of the card, and then on the other side, underneath this sheet of paper, is your interior of your card. So that's all you have to remember. So that being said, let's make sure we cover this here. We don't want to. So what we'll do is we'll take some paper. You might have some scissors. I'm just going to cut a little bit of paper just so I can cover it. I don't want to make a mess on the back of my card. So this is the back of the card here. I don't want to make a mess of that. So I take some printer paper like that, and then I cover it. I just want to cover the back of the card. So you want to make sure you just go up to your line here for the back of your card where you're going to crease your card. You're going to fold your card right on this line here, which is the center line. Okay, that's really simple enough. You're just taking your sheet of paper, dividing it exactly in half, and then covering 1/2 of your paper because you don't want to, splash and make unpleasant looking paint splotches and marks on your paper. So we're going to cover this. So this is now, so you can imagine this is covered. So you covered this side of the paper over here. Now you have this side over here. This is your actual card, the front of your card, the face of your card. That's going to be where you have all your interesting information. So the first thing we do here is we say, you know what, we don't have to get too fancy. Let's take some wide tape, make a wide base like this so you have area here on the bottom to put your message. Happy birthday, get well soon, Happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever your holidays or your occasional card message might be, put a large strip of paper here along the bottom of your face of your card, like that. Then you can go around here and do a regular border with just like 1-inch tape. So 1-inch tape there, 1-inch tape here, and 1-inch tape over here. Just like that. So now you have a beautiful, almost like a mat over the top of the face of your card, where you're going to have your painting, and then maybe you're going to have your message. You'll write your message in with markers or ink or pencil, however you want to create your occasional card message. You would put it right here in the bottom, and this would be your window here where you're going to have your artwork. Okay, so, and then basically again, all you did here was divide your paper in half. So this is your halfway point of your paper. Okay, that's your center point. And then here we just covered this side over here. We covered this side of the paper, which is the back of your card. This is the front of your card, so you're going to make sure This is the front of card. Front of card. Like that. And then once we're done and we peel off the tape, you're going to crease your card right here down the center, and you'll have the face of your card here. This will be the back of your card here, and on the other side, on the underside of this, will be your card where you can write your message in, and maybe you tape in a little bit of a, you might tape in some cash, or maybe a little gift card, or maybe, Amazon gift card, whatever you want to do. But the interior will be whatever you want to decide it to be. You can create just a little message in there, whatever. But let's just really take care of the top of the card, the face of the card, and then the back of the card we're just covering with printer paper. So we don't want to mess up the back of the watercolor paper. So we covered it with printer paper, just so that's covered. Okay, so that's really the simple idea of it. What I'll do is I'll take a quick break now. So now you kind of see how you set up your card, your occasional card, to get it ready for painting. And then once we paint it, we'll peel off all the tape. We'll show you all the steps to this. But again, I got you up to this point here where you're all ready to paint now, draw and paint in watercolor. So let's, and it's an extreme beginners video too. So we're not going to be using fancy paints or fancy brushes. We're going to use our typical. And what I'm doing is I'm just spritzing some water on our watercolors in our palette. This is our Prang Oval 16 palette. And I just spritzed a little bit of water on it with my Holbein water spritzer just to moisten up the paints for a few minutes. So while I take a break for the next 5-10 minutes, once I come back, this will be fine. It'll be more moist. The paints will be activated and ready to go. And we'll just create a beautiful painting right here, and you can paint anything you want in this section of your card. Okay, so let's continue on, but let's take a break first. It's always good. Take breaks, and I always mention too, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe on the right-hand side below. Extreme Beginner Series here especially. If this is your first time here, welcome. Thanks so much for coming by if it's your first time here. I'm really so thankful that you're coming by to my YouTube channel and joining along with us. We're painting and drawing all the time in watercolor, so you never have to worry about if we're going to switch gears. We always do everything watercolor. We do occasional card tutorials and videos. We do flowers. We do landscapes, cityscapes. We do figure paintings. We do everything you can imagine. We do still life paintings. We do boats and seascapes and beach scenes. We do everything watercolor here on my channel. So I just want to let you know, if you subscribe below on the right-hand side, you're not going to be disappointed. Everything is watercolor on my channel. So if you're interested in learning watercolor, you want to stay right here on my channel and just watch continuously every week, week after week, month after month, and year after year, and you will learn watercolor, and you will be someone who has learned watercolor and has got a lot of success in your watercolor paintings. As long as you're following every week, every month, and, even year after year, it takes years to learn how to paint watercolors really well. So if you're just sticking with us here, with all of us here, we're all together here on the watercolor journey. If you're sticking here with us, you will learn watercolor. If you watch maybe once every couple months, you're not really going to learn too much, but if you stick with us every week and just try a little bit of what we're doing, it doesn't have to be the entire tutorial that we're doing, just maybe one part of it. Just keep yourself involved, keep yourself working the best you can do. Just keep doing the best you can do at doing a little bit, as much as you can do. But if you stick with us all the time here on YouTube, constantly, week after week, month after month, and year after year, you're going to get really good at watercolor, okay? I promise you that. And if not, you can email me or text message me or leave a comment in the comments section and ask me what you have to do to get better, because I'm already sharing that right here on my channel. But even still, if you need me to share with you even more information, I'm happy to answer any of your questions, any of your any thoughts you have on watercolor. Please leave comments in the comments section. Leave me an email, drop me an email, send me information on on email, whatever it is. I'm here for you. I'm working for you to help you get better at watercolor, and that's what my my mission here is on YouTube is to make sure that you're learning all the fundamentals of watercolor so that you can get better and better constantly, week after week, month after month, and year after year, so that after a couple of years, maybe 2-3 years, you're really going to be doing well with watercolor, and you'll be happy because you'll have it down, you'll be doing it well. And so, all right, let's take a quick break. I'll be back in like 5 minutes. I'm just going to take a quick break. Is that okay if I take a break? Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, we're getting started again. And the fun part about this is we're doing occasional cards. We've covered everything A to Z, the whole enchilada. Okay, you know, chock full of information. My video's here. Again, what we did is we just took a piece of paper, 7x10 watercolor paper, size, 7x10 watercolor paper. We took a piece of printer paper and covered exactly half of the paper. And what we did is we measured halfway across the paper, made our center line, which is our center line here. We covered the paper, and then we taped off that, so we covered the back of our card so there's no splashes or smudges on the back of the card. And this is the front of the card, and we just covered that with 1-inch tape around all 3 sides. And on the bottom, we added a 2-inch piece of tape, 1.5-inch piece of tape. So 1.5-inch piece of tape, and this is 3/4. So this is 3/4-inch tape, 3/4-inch tape, 3/4-inch tape, and 1.5-inch tape here, 1.5-inch tape across this way, painter's tape. This you can get at any hardware store, either the 1.5-inch or the 3/4-inch tape. This is Scotch painter's tape for trim. So this is what, if painters came to your house to paint your interior of your home or to paint anything inside your house, maybe just one room, maybe the whole house interior, they're going to use this purple tape to cover all your moldings, trim, any other things that they might have to cover. It peels off real easy. It doesn't cause any damage to any of the other paint surfaces or wallpaper surfaces. So this is just this is your actual professional painter's tape that we can use for watercolor to get beautiful results, because when you peel this off your paper, it's going to come off so easy, so simple. No tearing of your paper, even if whatever kind of watercolor your paper you're using. It doesn't matter whatever kind of watercolor paper you are using for your occasional card on this session here. Trust me, if you use this Scotch brand painter's tape, the purple especially is like very, very delicate tape. You tape it down. Once you peel up your tape, you're not going to have any tears and rips on your paper. So that's a good thing to remember. You got to have good tape when you use this kind of tape for watercolors. If you use a really harsh industrial type tape or something like that, it could rip and tear all your painting to pieces when you lift it up. So you want good tape at least. And these rolls last you years. If you buy a roll of tape, it could last you a couple of years. So you don't have to worry about that. Get yourself your good. You could buy this at any big box store, your hardware stores, your big box stores, Lowe's, Home Depot. You can order it online on Amazon, anything like that. Okay? Just thought I'd mention that because that is really important. You don't want to lift up your tape and tear off your paper and rip up your painting you just did. That would be awful. So we've got that here. Maybe I'll just put this over this top of this just so we don't have to look at that. We could just put another piece of printer paper over the top here just so it's not as... it makes it a little bit easier to kind of just focus in on this section here. Okay, so let's do it. Let's start painting. First, let's get our drawing in. I'm just going to do a real simple lake type scene with maybe some campers and some mountains. Simple. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll put the mountains up here. So I'm going to go like thirds. I'm going to break this painting into thirds. 1/3 here, 1/3 here, 1/3 here. Okay, and then what I'll do is I'll just take this and I'm going to make a mountain up here like that. And then over here, there's going to be some shoreline here like that. And there's going to be some water over here like this. And then over here, we're going to do a tent. And that's it. How simple is that? We're just going to give ourselves the idea of camping out in the beautiful mountains. We're going to have mountains back here, grass and hills over here. We're going to have a field over here with a tent. And then we're going to have a little bit of some water over here. And that's all. It's going to be a feeling of hiking, camping, outdoors type feel. Okay, so what are we going to do next? We're going to get our watercolor paintbrushes. I tend to use the oval, the Prang Oval 16. I use the brush that comes with the set. This is always a fantastic brush to use for your painting. Then also too, I have the Princeton Art and Brush Company square brushes and round brushes. You'll see that if you buy a set of these Princeton Art and Brush Company brushes, they're synthetic watercolor brushes. And if you buy them in a pack, it's like a 6-pack or a 5 or 6 pack of brushes for like very, very inexpensive, like $5, $6 or maybe $8 at most. And you get like 5 or 6 brushes. And these are 2 of the brushes. You also get, you get another couple of the round brushes here. You can kind of see. So you get quite a few brushes in the one pack. So I'll use this round brush that comes with this set. And then I'll also use these here, these 2 square brushes, just in case I need them. And I like the square brushes. Or flat brushes. I like to use these. So let's start out. First thing we want to do is I'm going to get some fresh, clean water in my water bucket. So I empty out my water bucket and I pour in some fresh, clean water. And then what I'd like to do is, I think I'm going to do this. Let's do this. We're going to do the glazing technique right now. What is the glazing technique? Very simple. A light wash across the whole painting. And then after we're done with the light wash, then we go over with a darker secondary wash or 2 to get it finished. So let's do the first light wash. So we're going to actually do some orange and some red. Let's get some orange and red. We're going to do kind of like a beautiful sunset style color, maybe some red over here like that. So kind of like a beautiful warm reddish orange, and let's just kind of cover the whole painting with that. Wow, how good does that look? And it's simple, right? You just go right on top of your paper, cover the whole paper. Just like that, the whole way. Everything. Okay, that's all you have to do. That light wash of that reddish orange. Then you might take a tissue and say, well, maybe I want to make the tent a little lighter. So you can lift up a little bit of paint off the tent area, just like that. Maybe a little bit off the water too, over here. So you can lift up a little bit of paint over here. And that's good. Now you have to let that dry 100%. So we're going to take another break. Again, what's fun about watercolor and doing these occasional cards is you do have to take breaks, which is fun. So you can get a drink, a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, relax, sit down in a chair, watch a little bit of TV for, 20 minutes, half an hour, your favorite show that you might have on TV. And then when you come back like an hour later or half an hour later, you're ready to go again, but you have to let this dry. So you can also use a blow dryer if you want to go faster. So if you don't want to wait around and watch TV or relax and sit down and, chill out for a while, no problem. You take a blow dryer at this point, blow dry this off, make sure it's 100% dry, and we'll start our next wash, which is going to be a darker wash along this whole entire front of the card, front of our occasional card, and you'll see how wonderful it's going to look, how beautiful it's going to look. And so let's take a quick break though, because I'm actually going to take a break and let this dry, and I might use the blow dryer too. But, okay, I'm taking a break. We'll be right back and we'll start our subsequent washes on top of these really beautiful light washes that we just did. Okay, all right, we'll be right back. Okay, so we're back and we're going to actually get started again. We're doing a beautiful, kind of like a landscape scene with some mountains and a tent and some water, like a little bit of a lake and some mountains. Let's finish up here. This is going to be a fun occasional card. So this could be a birthday card, a get well soon card, holiday cards. You decide as an artist the cards you want to make. You can make any, you could make 10 cards, 10 holiday cards just like this, 10 birthday cards, 10 get well cards, whatever it is. You can make them ahead of time, and then you can actually save them, and then you can send them out. So you'll have beautiful cards to create for any occasion. So let's do the purple mountains here. So let's get some purple colors, blue and purple, like so, with a little bit of brown in there, like that. And let's get ourselves some mountain colors in the back here. And there we go. I'm just getting in some, and I'm using a large, this larger size. This is 5/8 inch Princeton Art and Brush Company square brush or flat brush. And there we go. We just have some gorgeous purple mountains in the background. You can take a little bit of a tissue and like blot up a little bit to make some mist. Isn't that wonderful? You can just use a little tissue or paper towel and just create some mist along the bottom of the mountains like that. Quickly, effectively. Then we're going to go in and we're going to get some greens. Let's do some green and brown, like that. Lift up some purple too into that. So we're going to have green, brown, and purple. Put some purple in there. And we're going to do some mountains at the bottom here. Some hills, some beautiful green hills. Like that. Then let's go with some lighter green here. Let's do some lighter green, some yellow. So yellow, lemon yellow, and then some of that lighter green, touch of brown, like that. And let's do some greens along here. Right around the tent, like that. A little bit of purple mixed in there, here and there. Let's kind of keep it, we don't want to make everything the same. We kind of want to mix a little bit of the colors. So there we go. We have some beautiful greens, light greens, like that. And let's do this side of the tent. Let's blend that right in like so. Okay. And then maybe some more purple, maybe some blue too. Purple and blue with some green. Let's mix all the colors together. Kind of just, homogenize some things, and then there we go. And then let's just do that. So we have the lake in the front here. Just like that. I'll take some of this and splash a little bit. Make some splashing. Okay, look how good that looks. I'll take my tissue and do a little bit of water there, a little bit of water here. Let's do that. Okay, we're all set now. All we have to do is, now that we've done our second glazing, our second wash, we're doing the glazing technique. So basically we went with our super light wash first with our beautiful orangey red sunset color across the whole painting. That's the underglazing. And then on top of that, we did our second glazing just now with some purple and blue and some greens to get our distant mountains, our distant hills here, and then also our green fields here with our tent. We have a tent set up along this beautiful lake here. So we have a lake in the foreground. Okay, so that's all you have to remember is we're doing light first, medium tones second, and then finally we're going to do some darker darks. So let's take a break. We're going to use the blow dryer. If you don't want to wait, use the blow dryer, blow dry everything off, and you can come back and start up right again. Or if you want to just let it dry naturally, let it dry about another hour. I would say about an hour should be good. So if you let this dry 1 hour to 1.5 to 2 hours, should be good after your second glazing. Or if you want to just get started right away, use a blow dryer, and then you'll be set. You'll have, you'll have the ability to go back in and do your third glazing actually, which is going to be your darkest darks. So now we're going to go in, do our darkest darks on top of our middle tonal values. So we have our light tonal values first. Let it dry 100%. 2, do our second glazing, which is our middle tonal values, kind of like those middle tones, not too dark, but medium tones. And then now we'll let this dry 100%, and then we'll go in and do our darkest darks next, and that'll be the final washes that we create on this painting, and we'll be all set. And this will be a finished painting for our card, our occasional card. Hope you're having fun on this painting, this occasional card painting. I know you can get this, get it done, have a great time with it. You'll be able to create as many occasional cards as you might enjoy and want to, and it's really fun. Okay, so we'll come right back in a second. All right, we're getting back started up again, and we've let this dry 100%. You can kind of touch your paper. If you touch your paper and you make sure very carefully everything is 100% dry. I used my blow dryer on this, so this is 100% dry. Now I'm going to use my Prang Oval 16 round brush, synthetic round brush, to finish up the details here. So we have some blue. Let's get some darker darks though in here. So let's get some blue and purple. Blue, purple, green, some orange in there too. Mix up some colors. Just get some darker darks. And then you can always you always have your tissue handy. So when you load up your brush with tons of paint like this, you want to dab off a little bit of paint on a tissue so you don't have too much paint on there. So when you go in to do some small details, you don't want to have too much paint on your brush. And that's why I just did that. So let's do our tent over here so you can kind of see that. That works good, right? If I dry off a little bit of if I take off a little bit of paint on my tissue, that works well. You don't want to go in with a ton of blobs of paint and all of a sudden your paint is just blobbing and making a mess all over your watercolor paper. You want to control your watercolor washes. That's the main thing. You really want to be careful how much paint you have on your brush at all times. And there you go. We have our brush carefully loaded with paint, and we have our wonderful tent here with some we have some tents with some spikes for the like that, and over here too. All right, so we have a gorgeous tent. So we have a beautiful tent set up along the water here, and that looks really good, like that. So we have our tent over here. You could also blot up some paint if you want to, like that. Make it a little more if you don't want too much. too much vibrant color with exciting colors, you can kind of tone it down with some brown. And you can blot up again too if you want, like that. That looks pretty good though. Okay, so we have our tent set up here on the side of the river. Okay, that's our some rocks over here, so you can make some rocks. Okay, there's some rocks over here. So these would be rocks along the water. And we're camping over here. We have some camping stuff here. Our tent. Some rocks along the water here. And we'll take some more rocks and we'll just make some more rocks with splashes here. So you want to splash on some rocks. Okay. And then I'll just do some lines like this just to kind of keep the flow of things interesting. Like that. And then maybe over here we're going to make some more mountainous, like that. Like that. Maybe you want to shorten up your mountains over here. Like that. You might want to shorten up your mountains and make a little bit of a clear spot over here. See how I have that little bit of a clear spot over here? It almost feels like you can go over here and go through and go into the farthest portions of your painting, the farthest regions of your painting. And that's all about thinking about your painting. You're the artist. You have to kind of get yourself into it and really think about, like, if you're in this scene yourself and you're actually camping yourself, you know, so think of yourself as camping here. Wouldn't it be cool if you can kind of see a little bit of a spot over here where you can kind of go farther back into the scene where these other mountains, these purple mountains are? So it's kind of nice to have that little bit of a spot where you almost feel like you can go into and go beyond the mountains over here, so you don't feel like you're blocked. So that's why I like to kind of lighten that section up over here so you feel like you're not blocked in. You can kind of, if you want to, in your own mind, you can like actually go further in your painting, you know, beyond the mountains here. So I have mountains like that. Okay. And then finally, let's just see if we can do a little more interesting details here. Of course, we can maybe, let's take some titanium white like this, and we'll take a little orange and a little bit of brown, a little bit of yellow, and we make for ourselves a little bit of like a yellow ochre color, like that. Like that. And then we put it into the top of our paint like this. So this way our white paint becomes a little bit more like a golden color. And then we can just pretend that we have some, okay, so we have a little bit of, like that. So we add a little bit of a yellow and white, titanium white, and you could even splash on some white. I think that's perfect. So let's call this a day. We've made an occasional card, a beautiful occasional card, and we've covered every detail, the whole enchilada of details here on this video. And then what you do is, once you're done, you just lift up your tape, like so. You'd want to wait till it dries, your painting, so you don't want to go and lift up your tape before your painting dries, but I think we did pretty much most of the painting, and I think everything is pretty much dry at this point. And look how good that looks, right? Beautiful. There you go. That's the front of our occasional card. Then we lift up the other half of our card, like here. That's the back of the card, the very, very back. You probably don't put anything back here. That's just the back of the card. Then you would, let's see if we have something here. Let's see. I'm going to take this portion off there, that tape. Then I'm going to see if I can find, okay, I do see. So right now I'm going to take my razor knife. You could use a camping knife, a butter knife, whatever you have. Be very careful. And then you just trim around the gum on the paper. So now I'm just going to go around. And I just make sure I'm really careful with this. I don't want to rip anything or make anything unpleasant looking. I want to make sure I keep everything looking good. And then I just carefully go this way with my razor knife. Like that. And then you can actually just tear this part off like that. There you go. And there we have it. And that's your beautiful occasional card. And then what you do is you have that pencil line that we already created in the very, very beginning of the video. If you go back to the beginning of the video, you kind of see that we created our center line of exactly the center of our paper. And now if you take that paper and you fold it and you crease it right along that center line, like that, and you just fold it like this, you have yourself a gorgeous occasional card. Look at how good that looks. Doesn't that look great? And then you could fill in anything like thank you, many thanks, happy birthday, happy holidays, whatever it is, get well soon. And you have your card here like so. You could fill in your message. You know, if you have to, you take your ruler and you draw level lines all the way down every ½ inch or every quarter inch. You make some lines with your pencil, so you could actually take your pencil and you take your ruler and you say, okay, I want to make lines every quarter inch. Or you might say every centimeter, whatever, you know, whatever you feel comfortable with. If you're working with centimeters, and you say, okay, let me make it every centimeter, 1 centimeter. So you just make 1 centimeter, 1 centimeter, 1 centimeter, 1 centimeter. You just go all the way down, centimeters. You could do ½ inch or quarter inch, whatever scale you feel comfortable with. And you just do like that. Then you take it and you, like that, and then you take it and you can even use your T-square. I hope everyone's going to get a T-square like this. Then you can just take your T-square and then you just fold your paper flat like this, and then you just go along and you do your very, very super light pencil lines every centimeter, like this, like that. You just go right on down, like that. Every centimeter. And then at the bottom you have like another line like that. Then you have all your lines set up on your paper, like so. And if I zoom in a little bit, you can kind of see that, how I have that all set up. Right? every centimeter is a light pencil line, a super light pencil line, which you're going to erase once you do your pen or your pencil message. So once you get your message done on your paper with either you do a pencil first, write your message in light pencil first. Then once your message is good and you don't have to do any more erasing, then you go over it with pen. Then you might go over it with a pen on top of that. So you'd have your pencil, light pencil line first. Then you might go over the top of that pencil line once it's good with a darker, like a normal office pen or a Sharpie marker, whatever you have. And then once that's done, you erase all the pencil lines with your eraser. And you'll have your message down perfect. And you'll erase all these pencil lines, but you want to keep your message really nice along these level lines here, like that. Does that make sense? Okay, so then you have the whole idea of it. And then on the front of your card, wonderful. Look how beautiful that looks. Again, you take your T-square, you set it across your front of your card, and you say, okay, let's make the message right here, center, light pencil line across there. You make your light pencil line across here. You make your message in pencil, light pencil line first. Make sure that everything fits in good. Happy birthday, get well soon, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever it is, get it in there. And then you go over with your dark pen line. So you might use your pen, your dark pen ink, to go over the top of your light pencil line. Once it's 100% good, then when you're done with that, you take your eraser and you erase off all the pencil lines. And you go back in here and you erase all your pencil lines once all your messages are fine and good. And you'll have a perfect occasional card. Again, how beautiful is that? How simple is that? And it works out great. And this is an extreme beginners video too. So you're just starting out in watercolor and you couldn't even believe and imagine that you can create wonderful cards, whatever time of year it is, whatever the occasion is, you can create beautiful cards like this and have a wonderful time doing it. And people will love it. People enjoy these type of cards when you make them yourselves and you create beautiful works of art and you give them to people as gifts with an actual card. So this is an actual occasional card, and then even if you wanted to kick it up a notch, you might put a little bit of, $5 or $25 in here and tape it to the card. A little bit of cash doesn't hurt anything, right? It's always nice to get a little bit of money. And let's put it to you this way. People will be thrilled with this type of a card. If you go to the store and buy a card, well, that's nice too, but this is the whole next level. Okay, so this is the whole enchilada, the whole chock full of nuts, really exciting, powerful, occasional card that you create yourself. You create the artwork yourself, and it's an actual beautiful bond you have with the person you're giving it to because they know, wow, this person created this. This isn't just store-bought. This is something someone made. They took their time out to do it, and they actually created a work of art, and then they put it into a card format, occasional card format, and you will be able to do this simply by just following this whole tutorial. Okay, so everyone, thanks so much for watching. Again, I always say subscribe on the right-hand side below. This way, you'll be, there's the button there, the subscribe button on the right-hand side. If you click subscribe, you'll be able to, I'm going to be doing more of these videos. I'm going to do more occasional card videos so you kind of really get the feel of it, how to do it, the steps. Sometimes you need to see it 4 or 5 different times before you really get the hang of it. So I'm willing to do that for you here on my channel. So look out for more of my occasional card videos coming up in the near future, and we'll see you soon. And again, thanks again for watching, for all your beautiful comments, for your encouragement. And again, I'm very thankful that we're all together here on the watercolor journey, having fun and creating wonderful artwork. Okay, so we'll see you soon, and bye for now.